AmerFirst Financial, you just met the owner, great guy, really a forward thinker. ReloFunding is the name of the product, is the name of the program. We have some really good programs to help you sell more houses that we'll talk about, but this is the coup de grace. This is the product that we really think is going to change the industry, quite frankly. Going back to one thing that Jay said about being about you guys, about being about the agent. My whole 30+ year career, I've aligned myself with real estate agents, obviously. 30 years ago, you guys controlled all the leads. Now with FinTech and consumer direct, it's slipped a little bit. You can't even turn on TV without seeing Ricky Fowler push button, get mortgage, but you still control most of the things. I've had joint ventures, I've had marketing services agreement, and a few years ago, Keller Williams has an annual convention called Family Reunion, and I'm sitting in the audience, and Gary Keller had just bought a bank, and he's up on stage, and he said, "I'm going to burn down the mortgage industry." And I was like, "You're gonna do what?" I said, "I'm paying you $50,000 a month, and you're gonna burn down my industry?" We canceled that marketing services agreement shortly thereafter, but of that $50,000 a month I was paying him for years, none of the agents got it. I mean, the team leads hardly even got it. It might have helped, Gene would know better than me, it might have helped their profit sharing a little bit, but the agents didn't get it. And this is about the agent, and that is why Jay is so passionate about this, because as you guys know, Jay, he's all about the agent. And so this, one of the many reasons we think this is blowing up is because it's about the agent. So anyway, RELO stands for Real Estate Loan Officer, not relocation, Real Estate Loan Officer. We talk about being first to market. Both Glenn Sanford and Mark Willis, 2 separate times, 2 separate conversations, face-to-face, told me, if you really want to do something in your industry, you have to be disruptive. This is disruptive. Gene will tell the story about how he came home to his beautiful wife, Susan, 6 years ago and said, "Honey, if we owned a Blockbuster and you knew Netflix was coming, what would you do?" She said, "Well, I'd sell my Blockbuster." He said, "Well, we got 6 of them." And so he with only 500 agents, he made that leap, got rid of his 6 Blockbusters and came to Netflix. We all know what Amazon's done. We all know what you guys have done. And we're watching in real life what AmerFirst is doing. So being disruptive and being first to market is a big deal. So we've modeled this program after the 2 fastest growing real estate companies in the country. We're introducing what you guys know so well, multi-tiered compensation. We're introducing it to the mortgage industry for the first time ever. We've never had residual income in the mortgage industry. We're only as good as our last month. And this is really, really going to change the game. And then we get to help you guys, the agents and the loan officers, create a residual income in addition to your income. You guys already have 3 lines. You got stock, you got residual income, and you got your commission. Gene says, you give me 2 more lines and I've got 5, watch out. So anyway, to make it compliant, we've got to make you the mortgage loan originator. This is going to allow you to adapt to market changes, better serve your clients, and increase your income. We talked about RESPA. I'm not going to go through that again, but I'm telling you, I've never been more confident in a thing. That guy's not going to make, he made $50 million last year. He is not going to net. He is not going to put his company on, in jeopardy if he didn't 110% believe in this. So it's 100% legal. ReloFunding agents need to get their NMLS license. We'll help you with that. We then hire you as a part-time outside sales. You have to perform minimal tasks, which boils down to taking the loan application. Guess what? The borrower takes their own loan application today. They upload their own docs, but that's your criteria. You know, as a producing, I'm not doing a lot of personal production now, but if I'm doing somebody's loan, I'm not doing a lot up front. My team's doing it. So it's very similar to that, right? I'm talking to the people up front. But, you know, Danielle and Mike and Jane and all those people are doing the work, quite frankly. And so it goes along those lines. This is super important. The ReloFunding agent does not have to change their real estate company. When you guys are recruiting, and I'm talking to just EXP agents so I can talk freely. When you guys are recruiting agents, you have to convince them to leave Keller Williams or RE/MAX or Coldwell Banker. I would take this product to every one of those people that just don't want to talk to you about EXP today anymore. They just don't want to hear about it, let's say. But you're friends with them, you got a relationship. I'd call every one of those people and say, listen, we've got this business plan with this mortgage company that's doing the same thing, and you can stay at Keller Williams, you can stay at RE/MAX, you can stay at Coldwell Banker. And I call it, it's kind of like a Trojan horse. So you get them in on this deal, you get that cup of coffee with them, maybe 6 months or a year from now, they'll want to talk to you about EXP. So as great as this program is with the 2 lines of revenue that we're talking about, to me, it is a recruiting tool for you, for your EXP business. We talked about it's permitted. It's not, it's permitted everywhere except Utah. We're not doing it in Massachusetts because they haven't signed off on it yet. And you can only do it on conventional loans, no government loans, and not in Utah. And so you need to have your license. We'll talk about this a little bit more in any state that you're getting revenue from. The 50 basis point side of it, if you're doing the loan and we're doing the loan for you and you're the loan officer of record, that's probably going to be in your state. But as your network and your downline and your tree grows, you're going to be in other states too. So you're going to have to be licensed in any state. The good news is there's only one national test, and other additional states is just continuing education, and it varies 3 hours, 8 hours. I think Texas is 8, Florida is 3, Alabama isn't any. They go off the national test. So one test and then continuing education. So we talked about you can't do government loans. We draw a hard line in the sand. Technically, you could do government refinances, and you can do refinances. I'd be sending my marketing link, my marketing application link that we'll provide you with after your license to all your buyers and say, hey, have you refinanced yet? I can help you. And but you, so legally you could do a government refinance, but we draw a hard line in the sand. We don't want any, you know, we just want to be as absolutely compliant as possible, so we won't do them at all. CFPB regulations talk about a person that performs real estate brokerage activities is licensed and registered. So bottom line is, you'll be, your loan officer comp will be regulated by the CFPB. When you hear about marketing services arrangements, joint ventures, lead generating agreements, all these different ways that we have come up with to pay the real estate company, which they've been doing forever, right? To me, this is even way more compliant. Everybody's licensed. Everybody's regulated by the CFPB. The government loves regulation and licensing, and so we're all covered by that. So I like it even more than that. Okay, so 20-hour class will help you with that. We've got places where you can get your class. We'll help you with the 20 hours. And they'll show you how to take and pass the test. And then we'll get your license activated and we'll hire you. You're a W-2 employee of AmerFirst Financial, a part-time outside sales W-2 employee of AmerFirst. All you guys are independent contractors, 1099. One of my agents talked about, you know what? I really like having some of my income coming from W-2 for Social Security and later on and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to do there. And then you just promote that and get rocking and rolling. You don't get paid at the table like you do now on your real estate. You get paid, commissions come out on the 5th and the 20th. We get paid twice a week, W-2 income. All right, we're going to talk about this in a little bit greater detail. 50 basis points up to $2,500. That's our cap. Once you start getting up over $500,000 loan amounts, we cap it at a half a point because the profit margins get skinnier the higher you go up. We could not mess with rates. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. We service and rates, we've got to be very, very cognizant of. It's a very competitive market. The mortgage industry is very competitive, and we've got to have good rates. It's just all there is to it. So we're taking the same revenue that we're making right now that I was making 6 months, a year ago, and we're just dividing it up a little bit differently. And I'll explain that to you anyway. And we've got some great ideas and programs to help you build your marketing. We really want you to go out and take this money and grow your business, double, triple your business with this. Put it into some of our marketing programs, add it to what your marketing budget is, and let's grow up and let's blow up your business so you're getting 3 points, not just half a point. Add another residual line of income. This part, when I show it to you, is going to blow you away. It could be huge. And it's an unprecedented model. So finally now, my individual loan officer and our individual agent are really connected. So this helps loan officers attract and compensate realtors. I mean, they've been taking you to lunch and maybe a lunch and learn once in a while, take you to a ball game, but this really brings you guys together, and it gets it down to the grassroots level, to the people that are doing the work. This is our national expansion program, AmerFirst Financial. We're ranked number 136th in the country. This says 6 billion. I don't think we quite hit 6 billion, 5 something last year. We expect to do 10 billion this year. Our goal is to break into the top 20, and we think we can use this program to become possibly the largest mortgage company in the United States. And when I show you this matrix, we think we can make that happen. Like Quicken Loans is the biggest right now, but we think we'll be able to do it. I like this slide because I get asked, why has this not been done before? When I was taking loan apps 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I was meeting people face to face. I'm sitting down with them at the office. I'm running back and forth from the copier. I'm copying their bank statements and their pay stubs and their W-2s, and I'm going over all this stuff. And heck, some of you might remember HUD foreclosure contracts with carbon paper. Some of you younger guys might not know what carbon paper is, but you have to press really hard on the contracts. It was crazy. We couldn't have done this back then. Now, the borrower's doing their loan application. We've got a great system, a great tool called Flowify, where they do their application and upload their docs. So now they're doing it for us. It creates a seamless transition. They're getting automated emails when an appraisal goes out, comes in, goes to processing, goes to underwriting. You're involved in the process all the way, so you know what's going on. We're tapping into your relationship with the buyer. It's been really, because you're there to help them. It's pretty cool to tap into that. All right, let's get into the money. How do I get paid? 2 ways. We've talked about it. Half a point up to $500,000 loan amount. $400,000 loan amount, of course, would be $2,000, and we cap it there. You can still do $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 loans. We just cap the compensation at $2,500. And then the other one is the downline. You guys are familiar with the downline. I'm going to show you how we've structured our downline based on your downline, based on what Keller did, based on what EXP did, and we've brought it over here, and we'll talk about that. Now, so it's a little easier to open up our 7th level. It only takes 20 agents. Our level is only $500. I say only, and you're thinking, well, that's not $2,800 on our 1st level or $3,200 on our 2nd level. It's $500. But guess what? The difference is, and some of these top guys, Gene included, think this could be bigger than EXP for 2 reasons. One, I talked about it before, you don't have to recruit people away from their company. The other is there's no cap. You all know when you do roughly $2 million in a fiscal year, you go to 100%, as do many companies. Well, then there's no more revenue, right? There's no more profit. On this deal, there is no cap. We'll be
Dave,
running.
That's huge.
It's huge. Yeah.
I mean, it's mega huge, because if you brought on a extremely large, volume, I mean, I was talking to Scott about why y'all think that this could make the agents. I mean, what we're trying to do is be able to take what people are making in revenue share and just double that up, where you can make, the same amount off the loan part of it. I mean, because the fact that it doesn't cap is just insane, dude.
It's just think, Jay,
It's insane.
if only 10% of your agents signed up, 170 agents doing just 4 deals a year, that's $68,000 on the first level. It's crazy how it,
it's a lot.
It's crazy how it multiplies.
And guys, just going back, you know, like I said, the reason y'all are on the webinar is I believe you'll make more money here. You know, like if I didn't think this was good for everybody, I'm out. You know, I mean, we're doing really well. I don't, you know, I'm one of those guys, I'm kind of sticking my neck out because I believe that it's good for the agents. And that's, you know, when I saw the amount of money they're going to pay out in these 7 levels and the fact that there's no cap, I was like, whoa. So I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Good stuff. So we put the $500 of each loan, we take $500, which is basically our marketing budget. This is our marketing program. And so we take $500 out of the revenue of the loan, whether the closing costs or the basis points, and we put it in here. It only takes, you know, yourself to open up your first level. That's $100 per loan. You bring in 5 agents and they're doing loans. You're getting $140 every time they do a loan. 7 agents to open up your 3rd level, 10 agents in your 4th level, 20 agents total to open up all 7 levels. I've got another slide that can show you, I don't have it on this slide deck, but just on 2 levels doing a loan a month, I mean, it's like 180 grand or something once it grows. It's a little crazy. I've got a good slide coming up. I'll show you. Okay, let's look at this one here. This one is the compound effect with a 20 agent recruit base. You bring in 20 agents, and let's say they just recruited 2 agents each, and they only did 4 deals a year. We're really trying to be conservative with these numbers. 4 deals, not 4 deals a month, not 4 deals a quarter, 4 deals a year. So those 20 agents do 4 deals a year. That's 80. That's $100 a deal. That's $8,000. This first line was if you did, you know, a few deals a year yourself and got that half a point just based on 200,000. But those 20 agents get 2 agents. They do 4 deals a year. That's 160 at 140. That's 22,000. Now you're making $30,000 just on your 2nd tier, only counting 4 transactions per year. And then, of course, you can see how it blows up. 80, 160, 320. It just gets a little crazy. The numbers get a little crazy. We're still doing just 4 a year. We're only doing $500 in here. And now you're talking $7.75 in revenue share, mailbox money, passive income, whatever you want to call it, as you can see this thing grow. I mean, you all know how it works. Those 20 agents aren't going to get 2 each. 10 of them might not do anything, but 5 of them might get 5, and the other 5 might get 10. So you know how this thing works. It goes a little crazy. So this is just the passive income.
Dave, one more thing.
Yeah.
Have you told them, this was important to me, and not to, I hate to interrupt, I'm not trying to interrupt you, man.
Totally
you're the
fine.
expert. You're the mortgage guy for 33
I
years.
love
Here was something that I was passionate about. We all have relationships with mortgage brokers. I have a great relationship with my mortgage broker. But when I saw this and you said, Jay, well, you can bring your mortgage broker to the dance. Now I have a philosophy behind that. The dance is sitting right here on this sheet right here. That's the opportunity, not just for you to bring your mortgage broker, but have your mortgage broker. Now, you know, all these mortgage brokers out there, if they had the opportunity to be on the ground floor of basically what EXP did in mortgage, it's the opportunity of a lifetime, but you can bring the people that you're already working for. That was important to me, Dave.
I think it's even more, could be more important than bringing on an agent for several reasons. One, you love your mortgage guy. This is a great program. You want to do something nice for him. You want to keep working with him. But who's he been marketing to for the last 20 years? Real estate agents. Who's going to bring in more real estate agents into your 2nd tier? The agent or the loan officer? You could argue that a loan officer might bring in more agents into your 2nd tier. So that's a really good point, Jay, of bringing it. And this is available. Remember, these don't have to be agents. These are loan officers or agents, and it's interchangeable. back and forth. So that is a great point and super, super important, Jay. We don't want you becoming a loan expert. I've got Mike, I've got Danielle, we've got operation teams. You might bring in your own loan officer. We don't want you guys figuring out programs. We don't want you guys quoting rates. We want you to take your relationship that you've built with your buyers, your conventional buyers, your government buyers you can send too. We just can't pay you on them. But we want you to do the loan application, to send them to your website. You want to drive more traffic there anyway. That's all we want you to do. They upload the docs. You've got to sign disclosures. You'll have a dual licensing disclosure. This morning I was asked, do we have to sign an ABA disclosure? Some of you may be familiar with that, affiliated business arrangement. No, there's no business arrangement between AmerFirst and EXP, at least not today. But you do have to sign a dual licensing disclosure. No big deal. Just says that you're, on both deals. Can a ReloFunding agent, that's be a part-time employee? So there are fair labor laws that talk about being a part-time employee. We've made sure we've covered all of them. Part-time outside sales, can't have a personal office. Mortgage, often, depending on the state, does have to have bricks and mortar. So we might have some space that you can use to meet clients with or have a recruiting meeting. When you had 500 agents at EXP, Gene was doing recruiting calls in my conference room. I was providing lunch and he'd have 20 agents in there and I'd sit there in the lobby and watch him, and the stock was 25 cents, then it was 50 cents, then it was 75 cents. I'm like, holy cow, what's going on? Luckily I got in, but it took me until $6, which is now $3, but I digress. No requirement to track hours, commission only. We talked about that, and you're not eligible for benefits. How do you get started? You have to do a criminal background check, so no felonies. Credit, we have to pull a credit report. We help you with all the activity and the keeping your license active. 20-hour course, and then the test. You have to get a 75 on the test, and then continue education from then on. All right, let's talk about this one. So this one's to the loan. Let's talk about the loan officer. You can see I only went 3 levels, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I'm talking to your loan officer. I'm talking to a loan officer. I'm talking to branch managers. And this one doesn't show the branch man. If you've got a really good branch manager who has, half a dozen, 10 agents, and he's at Supreme or Benchmark or Fairway or Guaranteed Rate or Envoy or Summit, he's probably got a net branch model, and we would talk to him about, because this just talks about loan officers. But it's a really, really good tool for those branch managers because they get their branch revenue, but it's also an incredible recruiting tool to grow their business. But let's take a look at the loan officer. So that loan officer we were talking about a minute ago brings in 20 agents. Once again, 4 deals a year. That's 80 deals. He's going to get $100 in passive income. That's $8,000. But he's doing the loans. Average loan amount $250,000. In Austin, my average loan amount last year was $290. So they're doing, that's $20 million in production. We're going to pay him a point that's $200,000. Now he just made $208,000 on his production. A lot of loan officers today are making a point and a half, point and a quarter, point and a half. We are only paying them a point on this program because we're paying you, the agent, the other half a point in a kind of this referral situation. The loan officers are lining up. I've said my whole career, if I could make a point a deal, I'd be happy. And what I talked about before is we had to slice up this revenue pie the same way. I couldn't increase the pie because that would increase the rate. So I had to keep the pie the same so I could keep the rates competitive. I just had to split the money up a little bit differently. So instead of giving the loan officer a point and a half, I'll give you a half a point, give the loan officer a point, and the $500 for the rev share is, like I said, kind of our marketing budget anyway. And this is our marketing program. I'll still pay the loan officer his normal commission of a point and a half on his personal production. And it doesn't go through this program because I don't have to pay the agent. So he's not losing out there. because that might be, I've heard that question right away. Well, I'm making more than a point. Well, you can still make your normal comp on that deal. It's just on this thing. So let's take that 20 agents, get 2 agents again, 4 deals a year. I keep emphasizing this is a year. That's 160 deals that year. And the second level, he's getting 140. That's $22,000, but he's doing the loans. So now he's making $40 million in doing 40 million in production at a point that's 400,000. Now he's making $630,000. Let's take it one more level. Those 40 agents get 2. That's 84 deals a year. That's 320. Picked up another 12,000 in passive income. He's doing the loans. That's 80 million. That's 800,000. Now he's making 1.4 million in comp and another $43,000 in revenue passive income. I stop it here for several reasons. One, when I take it down to 7 levels, the numbers get insane. I mean, like crazy insane. But I also stop it here for 560. When I was doing a lot of personal production and I was doing a ton of business, one year I did 840 loans in my biggest year. There was a 10-year stretch I didn't do less than 500 loans. And I bring that up just to point out that that's a very doable number. They can do that. They start getting, 20, they might need an assistant like this, to get into these numbers. They got a good processing team, et cetera. But when you start spreading out the rev share, you start spreading out the grid, this Relo matrix, it gets down, when you get to the 7th level, it's 10,000 deals. Well, you can't do 10,000 deals, but I could easily hire 43 loan officers or processors or underwriters to do 20 deals each a month if I'm feeding it to them and they don't have to go out and get their business. And I can pay them $1,000 a deal. I'd be paying them $20,000 a month. I'm making $2,500 a deal. So I could hire those guys. 43 of them could do the 10,000 loans that if you took this all the way down, and when you take it all the way down, it's still only like 2,500 agents. We won't even ask Gene how many agents he's got in his rev share. Scott Lewis is on a call with me this morning. He has 5,000 agents in his total deal. Twice as many as the 2,500 if you take this down to the 7th level. So, and I bring all that up just to show that we're not being exaggerating. 4 deals a year, that's a far cry from exaggerating, right? I'm doing the opposite of exaggerating. I'm probably dumbing it down. And so it's really something else. Here's my contact information. We're gonna send out, I can put it up on the screen, Jay's contact info, link to sign up. You don't have to be licensed to sign up. You can start your downline, your tree. You can start recruiting people to this. You will, without having your license, Jay. I think and then work on your license as you go. You can't get paid on anything, but you can work on it as we go.
Let me say this, Dave. What I saw here was, like the longevity of what we've done at EXP flipped over into for us on the mortgage side, but also for mortgage brokers. I'm passionate about bringing my mortgage broker to this, and growing it, all over the world like we did EXP. The thing that I was also, I wanted to make sure that there was, that Eric, who is the owner of AmerFirst, matched up our downline. So what he did, guys, is he put in my link where anybody that comes in and joins and signs up under my link, it will be completely matched up with your sponsor in our group. So if you go to this link and you write this down, or I don't know how you could screenshot it or whatever. If you go to the ReloFunding link that you're seeing here and you fill out a, hey, I'm interested app, it'll automatically pair you with whoever sponsored you at EXP. So, and that was something I was passionate about because we didn't want to get it out of kilter with EXP. We wanted to make sure that it matched up identically to the existing, tiers at EXP for everybody's best interest. So it didn't turn into people trying to recruit your people that recruited here or people. And it was just the same way it was at EXP. And that was something that I was very passionate about. So if you go to that link, fill out the application, even though it says Jay Nelson, Eric's got it set up where it'll automatically sponsor you by whoever sponsored you at EXP.
And the rest of that slide that you see talks about a webinar that we're doing twice a week, and you can invite people to that. It's at relomatrix.com. So that is Scott and Rob and those guys are doing it, but you can invite people to it, and I'll talk about the lending side. They talk about the mortgage side.
So I know everybody's going to have a billion questions. Dave, why don't we do this? Rather than keep everybody, I want everybody to kind of soak this in a minute. And should we have another time this week where we do another Q&A? You want to just set that right now for everybody? Let's say maybe Thursday, sometime Thursday. What do you have available where we can all jump on for Q&A, like Thursday afternoon?
I'm going to be in Scottsdale.
Oh, that's right. Well, then let's push it.
Yeah.
Let's set a time while we got everybody. Let's just set a time where we all jump back on this link. Do you want to do it next week? Should we just give everybody a week to soak it in? And y'all can go ahead and fill out this link. You have 6 months to get your license anyway. So go ahead and fill the link out and then figure it out over the next 6 months. We're not recommending people wait 6 months. We're actually telling everybody 90 days, but I know that for some people, it might take a little bit longer to kind of soak it in.
Allison said, can we add it to our EXP training on Tuesday? That might be a good time.
Can you do it Tuesday?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I can. Ryan, are you on?
Hey, Jay Nelson, Dave McMillan. What's up, guys?
What's up, Scott Lewis?
Scott Lewis.
Sorry I'm late, man. I'm good. Looks like you're drawing a crowd like you always do.
Well, you know what? Like I told you from the get-go, show me how the agents make more money and I'll draw a crowd.
That's right, man.
You know where my heart is, Scott. Scott,
absolutely.
Why don't you share a little bit about what you saw with this? By the way, Scott Lewis, when I joined EXP 4 years ago, I saw a video of Scott Lewis explaining rev share. And it was actually something somebody ripped off. They like saw you do a presentation and recorded it and showed it to me. But he explained how rev share was going to work. And he said, this is how much money. There are going to be this many people make $1 million a year. There are going to be this many people make, $10 million a year. And when Scott brought Relo to me, he said, Jay, this is going to do the same thing for the agents if they understand the math. So Scott's got 5,000 agents at EXP. What are you seeing here, Scott, with ReloFunding?
Well, man, it's so exciting. Like you said, it's another way where agents can make more money, right? I mean, it's like Gene Frederick said, we're doing an incredible job recruiting with 2 ways to make money. Now you add 2 more. Now you got 4 ways for agents to make more money. Are you kidding me? It's a home run. And, agents make more money. Loan officers are getting a recruiting tool they've never had. It's bringing the industry together like never before, which is a huge win-win. And I tell you what I really love, Jay, this is kind of between me and you, but I'll share it with you and your team, is, man, I'm getting in some great conversations with agents about EXP now that I never would have gotten into conversation with. Team leaders, brokerages, loan officers are bringing me agents. I'm creating new relationships. It's just an easy way to get in conversations. But most importantly, number one, every agent, go get this done. Make the 50 basis points on your deals because you deserve it. You work hard, and now you finally get paid for something you're already doing. So this is just a win-win-win-win for everybody.
Well, Scott, I appreciate your leadership and you bringing it, with Gino and explaining it to me and showing me how the agents can benefit because, that's what I wake up every morning for. So, guys, Scott will be doing go ahead.
Let me ask you this question. I got the 2, Jay and Scott. Here is a good question from Valerie. So we're talking about lining up the EXP rev share tree so we don't have cross recruiting. Very important. But let's say Valerie brings in her loan officer. So now she's going to have her own link that she
Yep.
can give to the loan officer. She doesn't use your link, right? She's going to use her own. So Val, the question answer, when all you guys sign up, just like that link that Jay has right there, that's his personal link, but we've got it programmed to line up your sponsor. But when that happens, you'll get your own personal link so you can start building your first level. So then you'll have a link to give to mortgage people, real estate people outside of the EXP, give them to Keller, give them to Remax, give them to loan officers. Heck, give them to financial planners. And we're talking about that right now, title reps,
Yep.
So,
That's good.
yeah,
That's
I mean, because they're calling agents and they'll bring in more agents. So you'll have your own personal link to start growing your first line.
And once you fill out that link right there, once AmerFirst plugs you in, and they'll, Valerie, I can't remember who exactly sponsored you, but they'll be your sponsor there. One thing I'll tell you is you guys need to call your sponsor and say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm excited about this. You need to go fill out the link, the Jay's link, because it'll automatically have you. I'm your sponsor again. You're my sponsor again from EXP. So I do need some of you guys to get with the people that actually brought you to EXP and make sure they go in and fill out the forms, because they're going to have 6 months to get all that in line as well.
Allison has a great question. Can you please explain how to include our lenders? I would love to grow with mine, but not sure he would change companies. Well, guess what? If he doesn't change companies, Allison, he ain't getting this tool. So the agents don't have to leave companies, but the loan officers do. You might be surprised depending on, I was unrecruitable. There was no way.
So he says.
Apparently they recruited me. But I suspect, I really was. I had it wired, and I was making a ton of money. Everything was in, I had it wired, and I was not going anywhere. So you might be surprised at your lender. He might want to change companies when he sees
I think any lender would be crazy not to look at it. And Dave, to your point, you were crushing it. You had no reason to even think about moving or leaving, but until you see it, right? So it's like they say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you were smart enough to go, oh, well, I've never seen anything like this before. And so you just started doing your due diligence. Yeah. And that's what every loan officer is going to do. They're going to look at it at first. They're going to say, I'm happy where I'm at, but you got to get them to understand this is a totally different box. They need to see it. And then when they see it, you're off the hook, because then Eric Bowlby's going to recruit them, or David McMillan's going to recruit them, so just get them to see it, get them to look at it. That's all you have to do.
Because I was super upfront with I was at Benchmark Mortgage, great company. Jim McMahon's a good friend of mine. He's one of the owners. I'm super close to those guys. I was there for quite a while. 6 years. Our group was together for a long time. I've known McMahon for 15 years, longer, 20. And they're like, what are you doing? How could you do this? You've got this exactly. People spend their whole career to get where you are right now. And I'm like,
but that's also why you are who you are, right? Because it's the people that realize that you can't get comfortable. Because the minute you get comfortable is the minute something bad happens. So
and one of the reasons Eric started this was what we're all facing together as a group is fintech. Google and Zillow, they're coming after all of us. They want you guys,
guaranteed.
They want us, and it's time we got together to fight them. And that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And as much as the market, guys, look, you know what? A lot of us have been doing this a long time. We've been around the block. I've been doing this 22 years. I see the pivots happening. Somebody sent me a text message today. Somebody coming after trying to give them a 1.5 commission. This is a security to getting you into another income stream when all of our businesses, you know, there's a builder, you know, now offering, you know, a $2,000 flat commission on $500,000 houses. Look, the problem that I see with most of the realtors is they can only look at their feet. And if you're looking at your feet and you're running, you're going to run off a cliff. You have to have vision. And that's why I saw EXP. And that's why Scott Lewis with 5,000 EXP agents, Gene Frederick with 15,000, Dave McMillan leaves the deal of essential, you know, that he had with his other. If you get comfortable, even though you're comfortable, somebody's coming to bite your head off. I promise you. So that's why I'm always, look, guys, I'm not telling anybody on this Zoom, look, you are an independent contractor. You are your own person. You could say when you get off this webinar, I'm going to go create my own mortgage company. Do it. I'll cheer you on. I don't want to do it. I'd rather plug into a system that I trust the guys that brought it to me and we go build it global. So